Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope you're doing well. Just wanted to jump on and do that overview really quickly for you guys. Um, you know, I very much feel the sort of sentiment for this week is going to be a continuation from last. Obviously, after all the risk off we've had, risk on rolled on really hard on Friday. If I feel like a lot of all this bad data coming out from the US and everything was almost priced into the sell-off. It's been a bit relentless with equities and everything. So I think for this week moving forward, I think the game plan is to switch it up. I'm no longer going to be selling any of selling Aussie, selling New Zealand. I'm looking to probably buy against the yen and all of this. We do have quite a bit of trade tensions going on at the moment between America and China. But we that's been happening on and off, and it still hasn't really shaken equities. So short term, I'm going to be looking to buy. Basically, that's going to be the goal of this. The first pair we're really going to look at is obviously going to be the Aussie dollar, US dollar. We've been shorting this now for the last 3 weeks or so. So I think it is time to kind of, switch over our bias and take some longs on this before we miss the boat. What we can see quite clearly here, obviously, as I was saying, I was expecting a head and shoulders to form in this area here after a sell-off from here. We never got that, so now we can see that we've clearly broken right back above this 645 sort of daily support down here. Resistance. And now what we're going to be looking for is a rounded retest down to around about the 50 fib or closer to the 61 fib, which basically confluences with that line of hopefully which will be new support for that. So like I said, whenever you're looking for a retest, you don't necessarily want something that's just going to drop off a cliff. And usually when you see a sharp sell-off from a sort of break, then like I always said, it's usually a false break. So the last thing we really want to see is it to come here, round off, kind of consolidate a little bit on the way down, and then we should find some bullish price action coming off these fib levels here. So we will get in here, pop our stop behind the 78.6 fib, and then look to take our long positions. Obviously, if we break back below this, then potentially, or even if we break these lows here, then we were right all along, and this is a second false break up here, trying to attract buyers before it shorts down. But we're going to have to see on that really. But I think short term we're going to be looking to join the bulls on this one for sure. Looking over at CADCHF, so we were selling this pair again originally. It's a nice little setup forming here in my eyes. What we're going to look to get in is, obviously, we can see that we've got a bit of up channel forming here. This was obviously started down here on the March lows. So we've had a couple of fake outs here and obviously here as well. So again, you can see we've clearly broken back up above this sort of resistance line here. We've had some rejections to the upside, showing that there's buyers now forming the support level here. Sorry about that. So what we can look for the week coming is maybe even better. Let's see. So we've got this sort of short-term ascending trend line that could be forming here. I think this is going to be a quick trade to get into Sunday, Monday. We're looking for a quick dip down here, place a buy around here, and then what I'm looking for on a target is the top of our sort of channel here. This is also a nice sort of confluence of resistance that lines up with our 50 fib from our March sell-off as well. So that's what I'm really looking for on here, man. You can see we've got some bullish price action already forming. So I'd look to get in around about on the 50 fib retracement and on the lower side of this sort of hopefully newfound support. But that would be my plan with that. It's going to be exactly the same moving on to sort of CADJPY as well. Like I said, we've broken back inside this bearish pennant formation that's formed here. So this could have been a nice false break here. So they've trapped a lot of sellers here. Luckily, we were in and out. So now my sentiment's sort of shifted here. What I'm going to be looking for again is just another short trade here. I think that Sunday night, Monday, think Sunday night's probably give us an opportunity to get in on this one. So I'll probably be dropping a buy limit but we'll see how it kind of reacts around this trend line here. If we do find that it's finding support again along here, then I'm going to be anticipating quite a large break to the upside here. We've got to clear this sort of upper trend line resistance here first. So we could see a sort of break, test this weekly high, and then come down. It's going to sort of retest on the backside of this trend line, and then see more continuation to the 50 fib potentially. But I'm really looking to get in earlier and just take profits here when it retests last month's highs up here. So that will kind of be the play. I think that there's good potential for that. We're seeing oil rally quite hard. Energies really hasn't. They're back on track. Everything's back on track. Governments are opening up their doors a little bit. So, everyone's sort of trading on optimism right now. So I think it's about time we kind of join them, just because we don't want to be caught trying to sell everything all the time. EURUSD. So again, I'm still short EURUSD in my opinion. What I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to be looking for bearish price action here around the 1.0888 area. If we get some sort of bearish rejections from here, I'm going to be looking to enter a short. Again, looking to target down on the lows, even at 1.066. If we break 1.07 and close beneath it on a sort of monthly level, we can almost expect this to trend down to 1.05. But for now, we can take that, or if we wanted to just play it safe, we can aim to take profits here as well. That'll be retesting the lows here. To be honest, we're going to have to see. I think it's more likely we may retest the lows here and it may bounce up. We don't really know how the market's going to react. So I think it's better if we just set our take profit there when we see a clear retest of this sort of area here. But yeah, I do remain sort of bearish on that for sure. It's cool. Euro, New Zealand dollar. So what I'm really going to be looking for here is just another pullback to join the bears. It's sort of respecting this weird looking channel that's here. So what we're going to be looking for is a pullback to retest this sort of support level turned hopeful resistance now. So it also lines up with our 50 fib and our 61 fib for the pullback. If it does get there, it may just drop off the cliff, but, I have no interest in selling it down the bottom here. That makes no sense to me. I want to get a good entry on this. So a pullback to around about this level. Again, we've got a nice confluence there. And then really all I'm looking to do is just get in and trade back down to the bottom. I don't really want to trade to see if it breaks any low or anything like that. This could range, but we don't know, so I just want to get in and out this week as well. Hopefully this does kind of present an opportunity for us. Who knows? Pound dollar, we kind of just got to wait here. There's no real trade in my eyes. We've got this sort of very terminal pattern forming. So we're either going to get a breakdown below this this ascending trend line here, or we're going to get a break back above this, descending back into this channel here. We may break back above. So really what I'm looking for is a break between, these two trend lines. So I'm not really expecting this one to do much. It does look like it's shaping up for a short, but I haven't watched Boris's speech, so I don't know what's happening right now with our lockdown situation. But it seems that GB may be strong next week. A couple of my trades, we'll see. It looks like it may rally a little bit. So in the short term, what I'm expecting, we could probably see a retest up on this upper trend line again. So if you wanted a short-term trade, you could maybe enter and buy some bullish price action here for a retest up here. But again, I'm not really looking for the short-term trade, so I'm going to wait for a breakout either side here. New Zealand US dollar, again, a little channel forming here. We've broken above this daily resistance mark here. So we're looking for a retest, and then we're looking to join the bulls again, same as the Aussie USD. We're looking to retest this sort of broken level here. And then if we retest this, then I'm also looking for it to retest the top of this channel top here. That's a nice sort of confluence of resistance up there for a target for buyers, and also maybe, you know, I think sellers could kick in up here as well, but we'll have to see. So again, that is Friday's bull run. So we're going to look for the pullback, looking for around the 50 fib. This lines up nicely with our sort of the top of this hopeful support now. So look for some bullish price action there. Jump in on the buy, hopefully score 169 pips. Happy days. But we're really going to have to kind of just see how it goes. But it kind of pairs up nicely with the rest of the pairs we're looking at. UCAD. Just looking to jump in here, looking for a retest of this broken. You know, we broke above here of this descending trend line. False break, sort of double top on the push here. So what we're going to look for is a retest of the bottom of this double top. You can see that it also sort of complements with this descending trend line. So I'd like to see a retest of this trend line for the sellers to kick back in. And then I just want to go down to kind of create new lows, but nothing too crazy. Just, you know, just secure the profit, get in and get out. I've tried to do these trades now lately where I've been trying to hold it for like 400 or 500 pips or something like that, you know, try and really swing it. But realistically, with all the craziness and the fundamentals going on right now, you know, anything can throw a trade left or right, you know, so I'm finding it better to just kind of set these short-term targets and just try and tap in and tap out. And, you know, if you miss the bigger movement, you can just let a little runner going or something like that. But I'm trying to clear a majority of profits at around about 100, 120, around about that. Unless there's really some, you know, unless I'm watching a trade and I can see that it's like in full-on meltdown mode or full-on, it's like it's rocketing, then I'll chill and I'll kind of just take the profit and let one run. What do we have next? You can see, just look at the S&P really quickly. So this is where I was expecting the head and shoulders to form. Obviously, we have the head here, the left shoulder here, the right shoulder here. So it was forming. I entered a sell up here. You know, it got this little bit of movement here, nothing special. But you can see it's just completely faked out. That's invalidated my whole head and shoulders view right now. So, you know, we could potentially see runs the one up here to test highs. And then we'll double check. It could even come up to this broken level of sort of support zone resistance here. So this will probably be the area with the mark. Yeah. You know, that's where the S&P is going to kind of make or break it, I think, you know, but I think it may see even higher, and you know, it's been relentless so far, so I don't see why it would stop, to be fair. If we break here, then we could definitely see 3141. But let's see. If it does that, happy days, because you know, we're going to be on the right side of it in regards to currencies. UJ, again, I'm going to buy this pair. What I was talking about was potential inverse head and shoulders. You know, we can see it here forming. You know, right, left shoulder, head. We bought on the head and we closed on the head because we're a dickhead. But so I think that looks realistic to me. We'll see a retest of this resistance mark here, get a rejection, retest this broken trend line, form our right shoulder here. You know, if we look at the neckline on this, then, you know, our neckline's here. Again, when you do a head and shoulders, you always want to check out the measured objective. That's basically gives you a target to aim for. So if we take here, you know, 45 pips. You know, at least it's going to bring us above here. And then what I'm expecting is obviously this to just hold as the new support. and then we're going to see bullish price action up to here. So as long as we break above this line here and we can hold that, we'll be okay. But I'm looking to find that sort of shoulder formation here, and then a reversal, and then test the monthly highs. That would be my sort of game on UJ. Gold. We don't look at gold very often, but we'll look at it. Cool. So obviously up top here, we're forming a sort of wedge. I'm bullish on gold, I think, to be completely honest with you, purely because of demand. But again, I'm not adverse to selling it. What is really going to matter for me is, if we get some bullish PA here, we may get a cheeky buy where we could take some profits here. But, it may break and retest the highs. This is obviously the 50 fib of our bullish leg here. So really it depends, because if we break this lower trend line on the wedge, there's nothing stopping it from melting down, to be fair. We could even see, Boris New York didn't do the absolute minimum. There we go. So nothing's changed. Great. I don't know if you can see that. I basically just got a pop-up saying that Boris Johnson's new lockdown rules do the absolute minimum. So I'm going to be sitting staring at charts a lot longer. Yeah, so there's a scenario there as well. So really, that's what we're looking for with gold. You want the retest, so you want to break, consolidation, retest, and then we could even break these highs and go onwards and upwards, or we could break these here. We could break this sort of daily support here. We could see some massive downside down to here. If we catch that, then we're all going to be buying ourselves Lamborghinis. But I think it's almost more I think a sell is a sexier option for sure, in terms of potential profits. But this could extend up to 1800 as well on the flip side on a buy. So yeah, I'm going to see how this 50 fib holds. If it doesn't hold, then we're going to see a dip to the 61 fib. That seems a bit better of the buy option right there, because it's right on that sort of descending trend line. But the reason why we want to buy above the 50 is because, it can still drop on that trend line. So as long as we get some bullish PA, break back above the 50 fib, and then, continuation from there, we could look for buys that way. But that's really going to be how you play with gold. Again, it just comes down to whether it's going to break this pattern, whether it's going to be to the upside or the downside. What do we have next? GJ. A couple of situations, little scenarios that could potentially happen. This is just going to be a case of sitting on our hands and waiting for a little bit. I'm expecting it to retest up to here, to be completely honest with you. So, if we look at the 61 fib there, we've got a nice sort of, our trend line. This is a false break here, obviously, as I was talking about. We've got a trend line resistance coming in here. We've got a smaller sort of resistance area here. So we did break quite violently beneath this area. So, looking for shorts here. The way we can play this is we can enter, say, 1%. We can enter 1% on our 50 fib with a larger swing stop up to about 100 pips above our 78 fib. Even though that's a larger stop, again, remember it's percentage, so your lot size is in like sort of in line with that. So use a calculator. So you put 1% there, and then should we see a further continuation into our 78.6 fib, and then this trend line comes into play, then we could put another 1% at a 40 pip stop. So we're still risking 2%, but we've got 1% going for every 40 pips, and then we're averaging down our trade there quite nicely. So instead of putting 2% and risking 2% here, if you're going to risk 2%, you can split it, right? If you think the price is going to move a little bit higher, but you also want to get in lower, then split your trade that way. 1%, 2%, this one's going to be for every 40 pips, 1%. For this one, yeah, okay, every 100 pips, sure. But if it's a 400 pip objective, it's still a 4 to 2 ratio on that. So So yeah, nothing really much to do on that one. We're just going to have to sit on our hands. We could see, if, it may not even test this high. Then what we're going to be looking for is to sell on the break of these lows here, on this sort of zone between these two sort of areas of support and resistance here. Sell from here, sell the lows, sell the structure down here. But eventually I'm expecting it to get down to 28916 on our daily sort of support level down there. Anything in GA? No. Nothing really there in my mind yet. We're sort of, we can see that we're having a bit of struggle here with the structure buyers. This is obviously Aussie Kiwi dollar, but nothing there that looks too attractive for me. Had a little trend line break here. See if we can retest. We'll keep an eye on that one. EURGBP. Looking for shorts on EURGBP, to be completely honest with you. So looking, this is the sort of area we're looking to play with. Obviously, we have a sort of strong resistance area that we're sitting in at the moment. We've broken back above it. But why I'm looking to short it is basically just because you can see buying pressure. We kicked up once, we've kicked up twice, we're kicking up our third time, but we're forming our lower highs. We've got this sort of trend line coming into play. So I think one more touch on the trend line is some mad downside. So I'm going to be looking to get short on this, on the 61 fib of this sort of bearish leg. It lines up nicely with our trend line just below it, and is also sort of the top of this area of resistance for me. So if I wanted to maybe just be a little bit safer, let's just pull that down. We get in about halfway. Get in about, line up with that. Yeah, there we go. So we get in there, retest there, see what happens. This would line up nicely with GB strength. But obviously with the lockdown, I think, we could see this, even if this breaks out, then we have a buying opportunity. But I'm only really interested in shorting this pair. Obviously, what we'd look for is a break of this support zone here, and then I just want to get it for just a retest of these lows here. But that's about it, really. Yeah, so that's about it, guys. I mean, it's not too much in terms of, crazy opportunities, I don't think. I think the market's still going to be a little bit confused. I think it's just a case of making sure that we're writing the risk sentiment right, and placing our trades according to that as well. Like I said, I think a lot of this shitty data that's coming out is obviously being priced into the market, so it's really a case of are things going to be better? Are they going to be trade war tensions? Well, we don't know these answers, right? So we just got to follow with what the market's doing and what it's doing short term, and try and take our profits accordingly. But yeah, anyway, guys, hope you're doing well. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Let's kill next week, and looking forward to getting some good profits in the market. Anyway, guys, take it easy and see you in the group. Peace.